For more than a decade, the BGK family has been a champion of dreams. It's the dreams of those who work for a better tomorrow that drive us to reach our greatest potential. We are here to support our Kingdom partners, their families, their ministries, and our communities.
As a young person living in America right now, life can seem pretty crazy, pretty confusing. And just like our political climate, where it seems like there's a lot of chaos and confusion, I think it's important as young people that we get out and vote. That we get out and vote for the country that we want to live in. Get out and vote for our futures. Get out and vote for the leaders that we want to lead us. It's so important that we don't do it just for ourselves, but we do it for those that have gone before us and those that are coming after us. So make sure, you guys, you get out and vote.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to G's Inspirational Corner. My name is Evangelist Simmons Wright, also known as G, and welcome to G's Inspirational Corner. Before we get started with our show today, I just want to let you know how you can be a guest on our show. To be a guest on our show, you can email us at wewdiamonds@yahoo.com, or you can contact us at 804-276-1062. To be a guest on our show, you can also watch us on the go. All you have to do is download our free mobile app at bgknetwork.org. I also would like to invite you to purchase my book, Living the Dream. You can purchase my book on Amazon.com, or you can go to our website at wewrichmond.org. Now that we have that out of the way, I just want to tell you a little bit about our guest today. We have a very special guest today. Our guest, before I bring him on, I just want to tell you a little bit about him. His name is Mr. Elwood Patterson. He is the founder of Faith in Your Future and founder of East End Boxing. Mr. Patterson, he is a pillar in our community through his work with children and families. His passion for working with children has placed him in places across the Commonwealth of Virginia. Mr. Patterson devoted over 20 years to working with our at-risk children. He has experience working in a juvenile correctional center, group home, ownership, and community-based services. He has found that his work in community-based services has given him a great success and satisfaction. Mr. Patterson uses boxing to teach discipline, teamwork, self-motivation, and goal setting. Through his boxing program, the children are able to work through trauma, anger issues, grief, and educational difficulties. There's more to East End Boxing than just the ring. It's an inclusion of a sense of belonging, self-esteem building, and teamwork. In collaboration with Faith in Your Future, which offers job readiness, truancy programming, mentoring, educational assistance, Mr. Patterson ensures every difficult aspect of his clients' lives in touch is touched in a positive way. Not only does Mr. Patterson has East End boxing, he has a football program and track and field. Mr. Patterson is a great friend of Michael Robinson and have established a great partnership with Excel to Excellent, where the goal is to have a positive impact on the lives of as many children as possible through sports and mentorship. So let's hear from Mr. Patterson. Please help me welcome Mr. Patterson to the program.
How
Welcome,
you doing?
welcome, Mr. Patterson.
How you doing? How you doing?
Great. It's a great opportunity to have you on our show today
Glad to
to
be.
talk about all the good things you're doing in the community.
Mm. Yes, how you doing? And I'm glad to be here. I'm sorry, moving a little slow today. It's been a long day, but
Not a problem at all. I know you're busy with the kids, and I just want to say thank you for all that you're doing. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions so that we can find a little bit more about what you're doing over there at East End Boxing. So, Mr. Patterson, can you tell us a little bit more about when you learned that your purpose was to help our children?
probably I say probably back in 1994, 95, I was working with Department of Juvenile Justice, and we was, after the young men leave the institution, we was finding out that they didn't have anywhere to really go. They'll give us their length of stay, and then when it's time for us to take the young men home, their parents are relocated and didn't even having a conversation with them. So these kids have to return back to the institution until they find placement. Um, so that's what gave me, and I knew for me, also growing up, I got in trouble, a lot of idle time. Idle time and really, being in a single family home. My father raised me, and I had he worked three jobs, so I knew
Mm,
I knew right then, as far as the idle time, what things I could get into. So I realized like, hey, I just learned from these experiences that I wanted to give to the young men and women in our community and make sure they have other outlets and kind of kill some of that idle time. So that's where the basis of everything that I've done have started at. So, and then once I
wow.
left Department of Juvenile Justice, I just started creating all different programs. I just made the time to spend programs and to give these kids an opportunity and show them a different environment. So,
And that's very important. That's very important to always keep our kids busy and giving them
right.
something that they can do positive. Which brings me to my next question. Can you tell me how you discovered that boxing could have such an impact of the lives of our children?
I I was owner of a group home. Probably started back in 1999. Let me go back. Let me go back a little further. Um, I had got in trouble in the ninth grade, and um, and my father um, kind of sent me away to my mom's house, and she had lived in North Carolina, and a young man that I came in contact with took me to the boxing gym for the first time, and he was
Mm,
like, like, young man, what are you so angry about? You're not paying any bills or anything. What is the frustration come from? And I was, kind of torn at the time because, my mom wasn't there and it was just me and my father. So didn't have any brother and sister. So, I just, had built up frustration. And so he got me into the gym. I didn't do any competition or anything like that, but it was just simply him just
mhm.
spending time with me, hitting the bags, and it was just an outlet for me. And it actually worked
Wow.
to get me to where I'm at right now because at that time I didn't. I just thought that once you build things inside like that, I didn't have anything else. because my dad was working 3 jobs where he didn't really have a whole lot of time, and I understood that. So I just had to channel my behavior into a different direction. So that
Yes.
was the turning point for me.
Wow. And I can just imagine that boxing, if you have some stress on you or something in you, it's
Right.
a good way
Yes.
just to throw those punches at
Yes.
that
Yes.
boxing. And
Yeah.
when I heard about your story, like I told you,
Uh,
I usually get protein shakes at this little
oh,
shop. And one day I was in the shop and I looked around and I saw this sign. It said East End Boxing. And I became
okay.
interested in knowing what you do from that. And not only that, my dad was a boxer. And so
Okay.
I immediately, start thinking about you and what you do in your program. Now, East End
Right.
Boxing seems to be a great program, and I know it's a certified program through USA Boxing. Was it hard to get this certification?
No, not really. We started out once we got the building. I'll be honest with you. We had got the building when I had planned. I just sit back and I just put everything on paper. And once we got the building, I, I say we probably got the building in probably like April. Um, and that was in probably 2017. And I just it used to be the building used to be an old like car wash or detail shop.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just took time to convert it. Everything that we did, I have a partner, what you mentioned, with Herbalife. She's almost like a sister to me. She's in another room, and I say, hey, this is what I want to do um, to help the kids in the community. So we probably got the building in April. We actually painted. It took me time because everything I did came on my own pocket. So I didn't have any
Mm.
grants. I didn't have anything. And then I just, probably opened. I think I did the grand opening like in July 10th or something like that, or 2017. And then I contacted USA Boxing, and I told them I went to their meetings, paid their yearly fee. That came out of my pocket as well. And then we went from there. We still have a certain guidelines that we have to follow through USA Boxing, making sure that
Mm-hmm.
all the kids are, far as safe and make sure the liability don't fall on USA Boxing. So
Yes.
it wasn't a hard process, but the only time you really deal with USA Boxing is when you're putting on events, and then
Yes.
they do like quarterly meetings. That's really mandatory for you to come to.
So we're in the middle of a pandemic,
Right.
COVID-19. How
Yes, ma'am.
is that impacting? How is that affecting what you're doing with the kids?
Um, it did for the period of time when it first hit. We had to shut our doors starting. I think it was around March the 16th, and
Mm-hmm.
we took a tremendous hit. We just we still trying to recover now. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
kids, I tell you a story. One of the parents that came to me and said, "Hey, once the gym had closed, she didn't know what she was able to do. And she was like, "Hey, what outlet do my son have?" And so I said, "Hey, I was still, we'll still spend time with you and making sure, that your son make sure that he got the things he need because once again, we're trying to kill that idle time." And so by the gym being closed, we couldn't come in our gym. We couldn't even, so I took everything out. We had to take everything we had in the gym, the boxing gloves, every equipment that everybody would use, we had to throw everything away. And
Mm.
so this young man, he had talked to us, and this one I knew how important, as far as during the pandemic and having our gym closed, what effect it had on the kids in the community. We end up with our mentoring program, end up taking the young man and his mom out and try to put a game plan together during, as far as during COVID. And so we sit down and told her, hey, even though the gym is closed, we'll still find a way to, work with them, mentoring, and maybe we can do some virtual boxing or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
um, after we met with them, we dropped him off at 3:45. She called me probably around 9 o'clock, I believe, and he was murdered. and
Wow.
that really hit home for all of us because we knew that if the gym was open, he'll have a safe
Mm-hmm.
place to come to because he had just started, and so like I think a lot of the kids, we even have kids not just come to the gym to box. We have kids that come to the gym that need to get in shape. A lot of times, the parents will take the kids to the gym and say, "Hey, we need to have him work out." And we have kids that just want to come and lose weight and get in shape. So it affected all of our kids in the community. We really um, we're still trying to recover right now. We just
Mm-hmm.
take one day at a time. Try to get through this 3 years.
Yes, I was on your website and I saw where not only do the kids box there, but you had them outside and they were training and exercising and doing all those great things. What is the
Yes.
youngest age of your boxers? The
The
youngest
youngest
age.
age, the youngest age we have is 6. We do have a class that is younger, but is involved one on one with with our coaches, and we call it mom and tot class. And then we have a pop and tot class where the age could be like 3 or 4 years old, and they come in and do the class with their parent.
Did you say 3 or 4 years old? Mr. Patterson, did you say 3 or 4 years old?
Yes, ma'am. But they have to be accompanied by their parents though, for that.
Oh, okay.
And
So
yeah,
is your
it's
pro
called. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
is your program for both boys and girls?
Yes, we actually now we have a lot of young ladies that have joined up, and they love it. Pretty much. Some of the parents come in and want their daughters. They might not want to, but they do come in there to. I have one lady just signed up yesterday. Her daughter, and she said she just worried about her daughter walking home from school and things, and walking in the neighborhood, and she wanted to use it almost as a form of self defense.
Wow, wow. That
Yeah.
is so awesome. That is so awesome what you're doing with our kids and in the community. How do the girls adjust to the program? How do they adjust to the program, the boxing program?
Um, they do pretty well. We have to put other precautions in there for them, as far as protective gear if they actually get in the ring. We actually have to calm some of our girls down because they want to get
Mm-hmm.
in the ring with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, boy, girl, whatever. They just want to get in the
Yeah.
ring. Um, and so I had to tell a girl the other day she wanted to get in the ring and she didn't have a mouthpiece or anything, and I was like, "No, you can't get in there," And so we, so when the girls come in, and to be honest with you, the way we have it now, when the girls come in, they have the same routine as the boys got. We don't
Mm-hmm.
deviate from what they have, what they do with the boys. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
structured, and they do the same routine. We don't say, okay, because you're a female, that you do less rounds or you do less jump rope. We do everything so we don't want them to feel like, okay, they're getting slighted or anything. So if they can do it, they can do the same routine as the guys do.
So, in terms of the age group, is it the same for the girls as young
Yes,
as
ma'am.
which?
Mhm.
Oh, wow!
6 years
And so,
old. 6 years old.
what's the oldest?
We don't have there's no limit to it. Is Right now we have
Oh,
I think the oldest young lady that we have is far as training with the team is 26 years old, I believe, 26.
oh, so
Uh, but
oh,
but
so
we have other young ladies that come in that just want to. They don't have any experience, anything like that. They just want to come in as a form of exercise. Because we get people that go to the gym, a lot of young ladies, and they say, hey, they can't understand still being in Gold's Gym or wherever. So they come
hmm
to the boxing gym and put on gloves and get in the ring and work out. They don't do any combat, any sparring. They just come and get a workout. So we have like a ladies class that's it's a cardio boxing class for the ladies as well. They want to come in for a whole hour to work out.
Wow, what such an awesome sport. So could
Mm.
I come to your boxing or is it
Oh
just for
yeah,
young
you always
adults?
welcome. Doors are open. Yeah, you
I'll have
definitely
to
you can
come and
come
check it out.
anytime. Yeah, yeah,
I,
but
I
you and
want to have.
actually you have a lot of what I'm finding out right before the pandemic hit. We had a lot of businesses that contacted me as a team building
Mm.
situation for the employees in there, or you want to get that supervisor in the ring that got on your nerves last week, and hey, let's put the let's put the gloves on. I mean, they have headgear on, but they want to, it's an outlet. Especially during these
Yes.
times, we invite everyone to come. So, but you
Yeah.
always welcome here.
I'm going to come down there. It
Okay.
sounds like a great way to de-stress. It sounds like
Oh,
an
it
awesome
is.
way
It
to
is.
de-stress.
It is.
Wow. Are you guys
It's definitely. It definitely is.
so are you guys still located? Where are you located?
We're located at 5725 Charles City Circle. That's in Henrico. We're probably walking distance from, I'll give you a landmark, the DMV on Laburnum Avenue. We're right there past probably not even a half a mile from Williamsburg Road.
Okay. Okay. If someone, do you have a website, or if someone wanted to find more about your programs and what you're
Yeah.
doing, do you have a website?
The website is still under construction. We had to redo it, but we have social media. We on IG at East End Boxing Club, and we on Facebook at East End Boxing Club as well. Then you can also call me if it's okay. I can get my number out.
Yes.
My number is 804 382 7788. Once again, the number is 804 382 7788.
Okay. Now I know that you're located in the Richmond area, but do you take your boxing program out, out of this area across Virginia or in any other particular areas?
Yes, we have been to far as competing. We have a young man now. We have several of our guys. We have been to Delaware. We have been to Philadelphia, North Carolina.
Oh wow.
We have a young man that's he's ranked in the nation right now. Actually, he's in the gym right now. I can hear him. He's 11 years old. Um, and he's ranked in the nation. He's headed to Shreveport, Louisiana now. December the 5th, I believe. He's fighting in the national, and he's top of the game. He puts in a lot of good work. He's trained by his father, and he has many awards throughout the United States. So I think right now he's
Wow.
listed as ranked in, I think he's number 3 or 4 in the nation, I believe. So he's trying to get out there now to try to make the weight so we can get out there to Louisiana in December. So, but we travel
How
everywhere. We even spar. We spar in different states. We go to D.C., Maryland. I have other friends and family that's in other states that we go. And where Fallon was a boxing gym, we always go there and take the kids. It's a great experience for the kids. They like to. Sometimes we spend a night. Some if it's a trip that we can go up and come back, we will. But we want to get them out of just looking at the same people in this area. So,
Yes, yes. It's always nice. I know, when I grew up in Chicago, it was nice when we could get out of the neighborhood and go on little trips, even
yes,
if it was just to go downtown. It was always nice
yes.
just to get out of the neighborhood and do, certain things and get together. I just think it's just so awesome what
We
you're
just
doing with our
We just
kids.
went to we
Now,
just went to Chicago. Yeah, we just
oh,
went to
really?
Chicago. Sorry to cut you off. We just went to Chicago, and I was trying to remember the date. We went to Chicago in last October, and we ended up going to Windy City Boxing Club out there. Ran,
Okay.
and we stayed out there actually through. I think we went on a Halloween night, and then we came back
Mm-hmm.
that Saturday. And we actually we kind of converted back from Chicago to Hammond, Indiana. Uh, Hammond, Indiana is probably
Okay.
it's like Richmond to Petersburg, and we kept going back and forth, working out with different people when we went out there. One of my best friends that I really talk to every day now, his son is he lives in D.C., but he do a lot of events with us. He's actually that's who I went out there with. He's getting ready to sign to Mayweather Promotions. Probably in the next couple of weeks. He would have been signed with them, but what happened? The pandemic hit, so it kind of pushed everything
Yeah.
back right there.
Yeah, we'll get through this. We'll get through this pandemic.
I hope
Now, I
so.
know
Yes.
your your son is the co-founder.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Your
Yes,
son
yes.
is the
Yeah,
co-founder. Tell me, tell me about Malik and how his affiliate and how you got him into doing what you're doing.
Malik is he's my backbone. He's my backbone. He does everything that goes on for East End Boxing. He's definitely the one that set everything up. He went to school in Delaware State for sports marketing. And he's always with all of our sports. He's always been the main person that kind of followed my lead all the way up to now. So now I can kind of pass the torch. I tell people all the time. I call it. I don't want to have the Ric Flair syndrome. Ric Flair tried to, wrestle for 80, 90 years. I know when it's time for me to give it up. And he's definitely the person that I need to pass the torch to. He does a lot of things with our box up, set up, the matchmaking. I mean,
Nice.
he's extraordinary. He's extraordinary. I really,
Very
without
nice.
him, none of this would be possible.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Well, Mr. Patterson, I enjoyed having you on the show. We still have a lot to talk about. So we're actually
Okay.
going to do a part two. We're going to do a part two.
Okay.
But I just want to just say thank you for coming on to the show tonight. And I will see you on our next episode of part two. Have a good night, Mr. Patterson.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to say to all of you, thank you for joining the show tonight. I want to invite you to meet me on our Facebook page, G's Inspirational Corner Broadcast, and leave a comment and let me know how you like today's show. I want to thank you for joining and tuning in. Please join us every Tuesday night from 3 and at 9 p.m. Have a good night.